Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, welcome back to a PvP of the ages. In the top left has our red Protoss player playing for Team DKZ Gaming. It is hero. And in the bottom right, playing for Berlin International Gaming, it is the man, the myth, the legend, Showtime. Alrighty, here we go. Showtime versus hero, with Showtime opening up with a proxy Stargate build order here. We'll go into his opponent's main base, or at least attempt to go into the opponent's main base. Hero was perhaps looking to get a battery or a pylon up there to block that move in. See if these stalkers are going to be capable of finding, well, what they're looking for. It's going to be kind of important here for Hero that he does get some information. It's going to be a 4-stalker opener, a chrono boost on the warp gate. So this is starting to, yeah, I smell it. Oh yeah, this is an 8-stalker push out here. And this is, oh no, it's with a proxy gate as well. Oh, this is pretty much a blind counter to what Showtime is doing here. If I were to pick one build against a proxy Stargate, and if I were a Protoss player, which I am, I would always pick this build order. It is so freaking powerful. Now, it is vital for Hero here that he doesn't take any damage against this initial Oracle. And I do believe that his first battery is actually a little bit too late. Look at that, it's just now going down. 20 more seconds until it finishes up. These Stalkers need to rally in towards the main base as soon as they can. If they start moving across the map, that's going to cost him 4 or 5 more workers here. This could be quite bad here. This battery is, well, 4 seconds, 5 seconds away from finishing. If Showtime micros this well, he's gonna get 6 kills here. Ends up getting 5 kills, but perhaps can do a little bit more. I think Showtime will be forced into cancelling this as well, as a second Oracle now pops out. Chrono Boost gets utilized, and it means that the second Oracle that's about to fly in should be capable of actually dealing some damage. Adept shade on towards the high ground. That means Adept will get some kills. Sentry needs to hold his own high ground for now. Oh, did not do a great job at that. Probes are being pulled off the line. Oracle moves in. Oracle was a little bit AFK over here. Hello? I think you could have continued there for a bit longer. I really do believe that if Showtime would have continued fighting there, he could have gotten 3-4 more worker kills without any real danger to his life. Right now, Showtime in a world of trouble as he's about to lose his pylon powering these 2 gateways, and that means that he can't warp anything in anymore. It's gonna take out 1 more Stalker, still has 2 Oracles on the other side of the map, of course, and as they regain energy, I think a 3rd Stalker will need to be added here for Hero. Worker count is 22 to 21. This game is kicking into overdrive at a very high pace here. Showtime's trying to block this move in. It's not going to work because Adepts just shade through. Initial target fire there was completely split among these Adepts as well. So that means a couple more kills will end up going down here. As these Adepts, they shaded out, but it was a fake. They get 7 kills total, and that is a significant amount of kills here. Showtime at the same time, getting 6 kills and doesn't lose his Oracles. This is why I said perhaps a 3rd Stalker here is going to be necessary. Immortal is out now, 19 workers to 15. Once again, 3 more Adepts are shading in though. And this is really an issue because you can't just lose workers forever. But at the same time, if these Adepts don't actually deal the damage they need to, that is 300 minerals you're not getting back. And I think that's actually what ends up happening here. These Adepts will die for free. What does he get? He might get a pylon and a battery for it. But I don't think that is quite enough. The Immortal is out. The setup is now secure. A 3rd Stalker has been warped in. As Hero is up in workers by 4, but down in tech by a pretty significant amount, I would say as well. Has no Robo yet. It is on the way, but there's no Immortal out. And there are 2 Oracles, which always have potential for damage. So I would personally say that in this particular spot, I'm still favoring Hero. I think. But it really depends on what this move does. If you get 3-4 kills here, all of a sudden, actually, no, I'm not favoring Hero anymore at all. Stays alive. Prism here for our Korean Protoss player. This gateway is gonna get taken out. If Hero moves in with these 4 Stalkers now, he's an actual madman. This is really not okay. Like, this is super not okay. It's gonna get spotted by this probe. And oh my god, you can't make this stuff up. Good warp in position. Oh my god. We'll shave off 2 of these Stalkers that will be caught on the wrong side of the road. Recall towards the main. 1 Adept, or sorry, 1 Sentry and 1 Stalker will end up dying. But this honestly went as well as it could have here, I think, for Showtime. I think so many Protoss players would have tried warping in a Zealot in the wall, but Showtime immediately with the Sentry in the back. Maybe Sentry in the back, Zealot in the wall actually would have been the best. But that instant Sentry in the back, that was very nice. Solid response there out of Showtime, honestly. As we see the positioning of this army in the main base moving a bit to the right side, we have a Robotics Bay on the way. That is the last structure that I had expected at this point. Mainly because the Stargate hasn't been denied yet. It has been spotted, but a Phoenix is most likely going to get constructed once this Prism gets spotted. I'm surprised we're not seeing any units in position to deal with this Prism. Showtime did not see that as a priority, I guess. Was more worried about his natural base. He's once again gonna lose a couple of workers. 20 workers killed versus 16. Stargate now under fire. And herO's going to expand into a third base while continuing to tech into disruptors as well as the gravitic drive here. So it's going to allow his Prism to be very speedy. If there's no Phoenix out, if there's no blink, disruptor drops are legitimately broken. And I'm not memeing about that. I think disruptor drops are probably some of the greatest things you can have in the PvP matchup. You can hit sentries so easily, stalkers, adepts. The moment blink is out, it's garbage. The moment even a single Phoenix is out, it becomes really freaking bad. But if none of these things are out, oh boy. The disruptor drop is something that is delicious. And we're gonna see how delicious exactly here as the first shot is about to go off. Gravitic drive finishing up, 2 adepts. No, sorry, that's 2 Phoenixes in the main base. 2 hallucinated Phoenixes. Here we go. Showtime not spotting anything. Are we gonna go for workers or for units? Workers or for units? Here we go. Single probe goes down. But this cost absolutely nothing. Don't forget that. For a hero at the same time, adepts will also get a couple of kills in. So 5 worker kills total. Prism causing a little bit of chaos there. This is a fake Phoenix, and this hero is not going to be too worried. I think hero might actually be trying to go into basically a 2-base follow-up Oleg. He's not really producing workers here. He's producing units, mainly. Here we go. He's going to try and hit this. He's going to get 1 Stalker. Showtime gambled on what he had to pick up, and he gambled incorrect. Does save the 2 sentries and the Immortal, but loses a Stalker. And this is just going to continue happening until Blink is out. As long as Blink isn't out, there's literally nothing you can do about this. Nothing. You're just gonna lose units. You don't have the speed to catch up with the Prism. So you need to send a single unit towards it every single time. Oh, that's going to cost you a unit. At least 1. Nice splits though out of Showtime. Wow. I think many a Terran would have done that worse. Oracle made it to the bottom left side. I think one of them has died. And here indeed comes that push out of hero. Now it is not super all in because the worker count is even. But it is all in as in it's meant to kill here. It's definitely meant to kill. 1 disruptor, 2 immortals, another purification is going to connect. Showtime a little bit too slow there with that pickup. Stalker count heavily favoring hero at this point. Sentry count heavily favoring hero. Battery way too far back. Of course, defensively, sentries are much better than aggressively. Guardian shield gets popped. The stasis ward also gets taken out. Oracle makes its way across the map. There's really not that much in these bases to defend them from potential stasis ward harassment. Seems like Showtime's going to survive for now. Another disruptor gets constructed. As I think another Stalker has gone down as well. Disruptor probably with 3-4 kills or so. Whoop. Stasis gets cleaned. Very nice. But Oracle is going to provide just a little bit more vision here with that revelation. Blink about 80% done right now for Showtime. And that's going to mean the end of this continuous harassment by this Prism. And that is really important. The worst thing that hero could do at this point is put 2 disruptors in a Prism. Go across the map. And fly into 12 Blink Stalkers. This would actually probably put Showtime completely back into the game. For now, it's just going to be a single disruptor. So you have constant scouting with these hallucinations as well. Don't forget, 5 sentries. That's a lot of Halu energy. So that's going to be nice. Third base goes down at approximately the same time here for both players. So no forge has been built yet. So major oversaturation in the natural. And that means Potentially this Prism could get some real damage here with the Disruptor Shot. Here we go. Is Showtime quick enough? Is he? Well, he was quick, but perhaps not quick enough, as 4 workers will end up falling. Battery now going down over here on the third base as well. Forge finally coming down for hero, who has 3 gates of production, who has these massive robo units. I just don't really see a way for Showtime to try and get back into the game without dying to the first push out that hero is going to do. If Showtime takes a faster forward pace, I think he just dies. If Showtime transitions into pure Stalker, I think he'll just die. If Showtime tries to transition into many Zealots, that's not great against Disruptors either. Like, usually if your opponent has Disruptors, you have some type of... You have your own advantages, right? If the toss techs into Disruptors, it means they probably don't have as many Stalkers or don't have as many Zealots or have slower eco or need to be more defensive. But here, hero has more Stalkers, has better vision on the map, and has Disruptors out already. And in that case, Disruptors, yeah, they're pretty freaking amazing. I think the best thing that Showtime can do here is try to stay alive, copy your opponent's expansion timings, and then the moment you max out, that is when you can start thinking about fighting. Once you start getting your own... Oh my god, what is this? Once you start getting your own Disruptors out, he's getting for Colossus? Well, this actually might be a way for Showtime to get back into the game then. Colossus are really, really bad. They're actually the worst unit in the entire world in PvP. Sometimes you build them and then you realize why you haven't been building them. Like, this unit is balls. It really is. It's just worse than Disruptors most of the time. Like, it's useful maybe to get 1 or 2, but it always gives your opponent the ability to tech into Disruptors themselves, and Disruptors are just better than Colossus. You're gonna need Phoenixes if you're playing Colossus, because you need something to lift Disruptors. Because Disruptors just beat Colossus straight up. Like, there's no 2 ways around it. That's just what happens. Showtime here is planning on moving out, which is somewhat surprising. We see a second robotics facility as well here for hero, and a 4th base now for Showtime. I think Showtime sees the Colossus at this point, and this immediately should trigger the Robo Bay response. I think Robo Bay, second robotics facility, and he should be thanking God right now. It's like that his opponent went for Colossus, because it gives him an opportunity to try and get back into the game with those Disruptors. Instead, we see a move out here with a lot of Stalkers, with a bunch of Immortals. This I am not very fond of. The one thing that Colossus are very good against is... Nice. The one thing Colossus are very good against is the Zealots. So you want to get high gas, you want to, get tech units out, because Zealots are quite bad against Colossus. It's the one unit you don't want to trust on, don't want to rely on. Stalkers will take out 1 hallucination there. I'm afraid that Showtime is in the process of being pushed back at the moment. I think he wants to initiate a base trade here. He can't fight this army, that's for sure. Does not have the damage output. Showtime, we do not have the damage. Oh, maybe you can clear 1 Colossus. Yeah, it's gonna blink in. Does get force fielded in just a tiny tad though. But 1 Colossus for 2-3 Stalkers might be okay in this particular situation. Showtime is playing really on a knife's edge here. Very scary. Oh, there we go. Big blink forward. Prism, can you save? No, you can't. Means that Immortal will fall basically for free. 69 workers to 58. Showtime's done a good job of coming back into this game, but hero's still just with that lead. Hero's still just with that lead. 152 supply to 133. Army supply lead pretty big here. +2 quicker as well for hero. So even if Showtime tries to buy time, like what is he buying time for? There is nothing coming up. There's just nothing. Battery is going to get sniped instantly. Disruptor shot comes forward. Will hit a couple of Stalkers. Archons doing a brilliant job tanking over here. And I think this is going to be it. I really feel like Showtime was offered an opportunity to get back into this game the moment hero started building Colossus. But Showtime either read it too late or didn't feel comfortable going into Disruptors from here. And as a result, it's just, well, straight up going to get butchered in this final fight of the game. GG gets called, and hero wins Gresvan in this best of 3. That was a very hero-esque game as well. I think it often happens with when you're watching a hero game, is that what he does is he'll get ahead in the early game by a decent margin, and then he'll invest everything in the mid game to make sure that the game never goes past the mid game. This is a very type of just bouncing on the opportunity, making sure his opponent, has no chance of getting to a stage where the game kind of even out. But in order to do that, I often feel like he takes risks that might actually allow the opponent to come back into the game, like that Colossus deck. I do believe that Colossus are quite powerful. I think Colossus are, you know, they have like a very niche use in the PvP matchup, but it also gives the opponent an opportunity to perhaps try and stabilize. Now, Showtime didn't get that opportunity, didn't grab that opportunity, but in the past we've seen hero struggle with that particular setup before. We've seen hero, you know, just wanting to kill a Zerg so badly that he kind of ends up killing himself, just sending Zealots and Stalkers into just setups of lurkers again and again and again. This is a very odd opener here out of both players. Showtime opens up with a robotics facility proxy, while hero pretended to be one gate expanding. Now is playing his own defensive robo, but his robo is going to be delayed. And despite Showtime being the one that seemingly, you know, is putting something at risk here by proxying this robo, I actually, well, actually, now that it's been spotted, I'm not so sure. I was gonna say I actually prefer his position, but now that it's spotted, this is real bad. Okay, this is real bad. He needs to get another pylon down. He's gonna be capable of doing that, I think. That's not in range, is it, Chief? There is no way that's in range. There is absolutely zero chance in hell that that's in range. Is it? 1, 2, 3? No, actually it is in range. Never mind. I can't count. I'm just a bad boy. Yep, there we go. Just barely in range, though. It's, I would not have put my pylon over there. I would have been too afraid. I'm a very scared man when it comes to pylon placement. You know, I've been hurt in the past. You never forget that. Probe is in the main base here, just having a good time scouting around. Stalker Sentry. As Immortal's about to pop out. Hero is doing a good job trying to deny this. With the emphasis here on trying, because I do believe that this Immortal is going to pop, and when it pops, so will the Stalkers, like balloons against the big anti-armor damage of the Immortal. One Stalker will go down, but this Robo is absolute toast, and we see Showtime here going for an expansion behind this. And I think the correct thing to do for Showtime, and this might be a little bit controversial, I think the correct thing to do here is to actually throw down a Stargate. So you're denying any potential Prism harassment, because you can get your own Prism, you can't counter harass. It's gonna go for Twilight. Twilight does provide a similar anti-air catch in the exact same way, but what it doesn't do is that it isn't as fast, which is definitely going to be an issue. Here comes the first attack. We have an Immortal, 2 Stalkers coming out. It's not really an attack, it's more of a drop. I wouldn't have minded if Hero actually would have gone for a proper attack, but I don't think he's quite aware of that the opponent expanded so quickly, which is kind of a wild play anyway. I think Hero is in a really uncomfortable spot. Like really uncomfortable. This is a bad map to attack on. Blink has started already. That means there's now a timer on this push. Batteries are on the way. Showtime, I think, is aware of the fact that there is no natural. Hero was completely in defenders mode. They could still just move up here and win the game, though. That's a typical Hero move as well. It's just winning games. And this is also a very controversial thing to do. It's just walking up ramps and winning. Like how Alpha Star did it. Just walking up ramps, pretending force fields are not a thing. This is so difficult, though, to do. 4 Stalkers are semi in position. We need to see more units being sent over. I think a Pro Pool might just be in order. Oh, no. The chaos, the destruction, the pure hatred here being shown by these Stalkers against the Prism. Absolute pain, as we do see a rotation in towards the natural. Couple of force fields out of both sides, but I think, my dear friends, that Hero has just officially lost the game. Super Battery did get shot in the main. Blink is about to finish up. I think a 3rd gate is in order here. And, well, Showtime right now in a phenomenal position. Prism is never going to make its way in towards the main base. Even if it does, it's going to not have any Immortals whatsoever. There's Blink, there's a Robo on the way. We have a third gate. We have a fourth gateway coming out now for hero, who realizes he can't even rally immortals across the map because he's fully walled in. Yeah, this is pure chaos. This is pure chaos. This is not what you want in life. And hero just a little bit unlucky there, losing that prism. It had 4 units in it as well. I think without that it is hard, but it might still be doable to break this position. I'm not saying it's easy at all, but I think you definitely have a better chance breaking this position with a prism and 2 immortals alive than without. Once again, we're gonna try to get in towards the main base, but Blink is done at this point, and I mean, this is just practically useless. There's just no point. There's absolutely no point. Immortal on the low ground. Hero should be tapping out after trying to bump into the 2 force fields that are here on top of this ramp. There we go. This is absolutely not going to work. Hero knows it. I know it. Showtime knows it. You know it. We all know the exact same thing. Yet we're here pretending like it ain't over quite yet. Look at this. 31 army supply to 35. 2 batteries here. Force fields definitely helping out. Blink forward on top of that prism. Actually a relatively risky move out of Showtime that I don't really appreciate. But he's so far ahead that it won't matter. Super battery still hasn't been used yet either. Showtime taking a 3rd gas at this point just shows how far ahead he knows he is. GG gets called. And Showtime ties up the series here on Babylon. Showtime's definitely in a mood today. A proxy mood, that is. So far, every single game he has proxied something. Game number 1, that's Stargate. Game number 2, the Robo. And, well, it honestly shouldn't have worked both times, I think. Hero, it's a pretty decent response as twice. And Showtime indeed is not going to try another time. Just goes for a standard scout timing. Hero is not much of a proxy here. Hero is someone that likes to play risky and do weird things, but in PvP he doesn't proxy as much as you would expect him to, you know? It's too standard. I think that's the problem. Hero likes doing things that are out of the ordinary. And proxying in PvP is just too standard. So what's the point in it? Everyone does it already. What extra knowledge does he have of those situations compared to others? Not a whole lot, because everyone knows so much already. That's why he plays so many weird builds in PvZ and PvP, is because he controls the chaos, you know? But in this case, in the PvP matchup, everyone controls the chaos, because there's always chaos. The entire matchup is chaos. It's just a chaotic matchup. If you're good in PvP, you are the master of chaos and destruction. MaxPax has been that for a long time. Some people say he's lost his touch. Those people are what we call haters. I ain't a hater, I'm a believer. Definitely am. But MaxPax is not in this series, so let's talk about what we actually see. Adept and Stalker for our boy Hero. Double Stalkers for our main man Showtime. Kind of important for Showtime to get that information. I think at least. That is important to get that information. I don't think he did. Gonna be a robotics facility behind this. Wow. This is a very odd build order. This is one of those builds that really freaking sucks against some other builds. The 3-gate Robo. Like, this is a... Sometimes you watch someone play this particular build order and they just lose. You know, it's not even gonna be close. It really isn't. Oh. Can I get that battery in time? Yes, we are. Don't Adept? Hello? Showtime. Wheel. Adept alert. Hello? Adept accidentally finished here. What a blunder out of Hero, or a potential... Well, it was a blunder, but... Showtime not capitalizing on it. Showtime actually loses a Stalker's gonna lose a second one if he isn't careful. Takes a lot of damage here. This is not how you wanted this game to start, Showtime, let me tell you that much. There is no battery down here at all. There's still 3 Stalkers on the chase. Adept will get targeted down. This pylon in a little bit of trouble. And Showtime's entire life in a little bit of trouble right now. Oh no, Showtime. Such a good start. I really like this build order against what the opponent was playing as well. Showtime is preparing for an Oracle. Look at this. Oh no, you're seeing things, Showtime. There's not going to be an Oracle. It's going to be a Prism. There's going to be a lot of Stalkers. And you are going to have a crap ton of trouble. 5 Stalkers are out. Showtime now is aware of the pickle he finds himself. And I think he knows that he needs to give up this low ground. Oh, he's been fooled. He's been... Been beat up, battered around. Ay, ay, ay. It's gonna lose one more gateway at least as well. Dark Shrine on the way. No, gets cancelled. Sees the Prism. Okay, he believed this was going to be just a 3-gate build. But it was 3-gate with Robo, and then the Dark Shrine makes no sense. Gonna lose at least one gateway, but could potentially even lose a second one if hero is very careful. Hero the type of guy to just walk up this ramp as well. Majority of tosses would actually expand behind this. He doesn't. Gets the Twilight Council, continues pushing in. It's like, hey, you know what? I just cleared a gateway and a pylon for free. Surely this situation is good for me. Oh my god, just flew straight in with that Prism as well. What are we doing here, hero? I'm not entirely sure, but I dig it, I dig it. Loses 2 adepts, kills 3 workers, and will also take out another gateway. Lots of production being destroyed here. This Blink has been spotted. Is this going to be Blink on the side of hero? A Dark Shrine? What's the plan here? I don't quite know. I think a Nexus might be the correct call for Showtime, but no matter what he does, he's going to be behind. Simply because he lost so much infrastructure. Hero's already getting a Nexus as well. Yeah, Showtime is copying that. Stalkers will start moving out, but there's no way to get high ground vision, is there? Well, it's an hallucination about to start. Here we go. Hallucination. Hallucination. There we go. Robotics facility might be a wise structure here to build for Showtime. Of course, he's not aware whether there is a Dark Shrine or not behind this. Isn't even aware of the fact that there is indeed going to be Blink being researched right now. Showtime is eyeing this main base. Look at this. Yes, he has an eye on this main base. He's keeping an eye on it. Immortal towards the main as well. Okay, well... Is a recall if recall's not available, that could be bad. Okay, recall's just barely available. Kill what? 3 workers. Recall, lose 2 stalkers. Not a very worthwhile trade. Showtime, you beast! You absolute monster of a person. What are you doing over here? This is not allowed. This is against the law. This is definitely against the law. He's skipping any form of detection as well. May I note? Yes, I may. So this is some serious risk here being taken by Showtime. Now gets the robotics facility, but that is fairly late. 3rd base here at 90% or so. This is looking real intense. If Showtime gets to survive on that golden base for a while... Yeah, let's see, take a look at what hero sees here. Where are you gonna recall those workers from, Showtime? You know he needs to recall, but he doesn't have a recall available. That's frustrating. That's real frustrating. Actually, hero is going for the one strategy that might just blindly kill this as well. That is extremely sad for Showtime. Hero is probably planning on a move out. Has a Prism with this. Has 2 Immortals, a bunch of Stalkers, Sentry. Showtime is looking for the base trade. He's not going to find that because of this one pesky Observer that is in position the entire time. Sees all the move out. Lots of Stalkers being taken out already. Hero continues his march on. More workers in production for Showtime, who also gets gateways on this base right now. I think all he can do is go for this base trade. There is no alternative solution. He's down in Stalkers. He's down on Immortals because he has no Immortals. The one thing he might have that is better is nothing. Actually, he has nothing that is better. He literally has not a single thing. He wants to go for an Observer and maybe a snipe on his opponent's Observers. There are 2 Observers, don't forget about that. Okay, probes are going down here on the other side. This base might be useful now. Cybernetics core gets constructed. New pylons also need to be built. I think hero can just recall back home though and probably be fine. Or at least hero will think he's fine. While in reality, the gold could really be an issue. The gold could actually be a major issue. Here we go. Taking out more pylons. Showtime. If we can clear all of those probes, there might actually be a possibility. There might be a possibility here. Takes out every single probe. I would have loved to see a probe hidden here to repower those gates. Look at this. If we can build some batteries in this area, well, Did just lose a bunch of stalkers in the main apparently, which I kind of missed. Showtime also kind of missed that. It is 20 stalkers to 8. But the mining right now is in favor of Showtime, and by quite a bit as well. It's annoying that this can still be caught. Oh no, I think Showtime's actually just kind of dead. It is 2 observers versus 1. GG gets called. Showtime with a very good attempt here to try and get back into the game to win this series, but it didn't even matter. That is going to be it for hero and Showtime. That's going to be it for me and for you as well today, my dear friends. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye bye.